I'm Kayla Miller, the 2020 Stevenson County Farm Bureau intern. Today we're at Warren Zumdahl's sheep farm in Freeport, Illinois. So this is Warren. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your farm?
Okay, we have a grain and sheep farm, and the sheep are our livestock operation. And I grew up on this farm. My parents started this farm when the year I was born, so that was 1954. So they've been here. Our family has been on this farm for that long. And as growing up, my dad had chicken operation, a laying hen, and he had a few sheep. He had 35 sheep, and when I got old enough, I became the person who takes care of the sheep. So I've always been involved in growing sheep, and then I left home for about 10 years and came back to farming, and have been doing that ever since. Here and show you the sheep. And as far as the grain operation is concerned, we raise corn and soybeans for market, and then we also grow alfalfa hay and barley for this is feed for the sheep. We grow all the feed for our sheep, and we'll talk about that a little later. I'll show you some feed products. Anyway, I'll just kind of...
So how many sheep do you have located on your farm?
We have 200 ewes, which are the breeding females, and the breed that we have is called polypay. They're white-faced ewes, and they're basically a ewe that produces good wool and also meat quality ewe. And we try to have as many twins and triplets as we can get. We don't get that many triplets, but we try to strive to get as many twins as we can. And their polypay are more productive that way.
All right, so what type of facility do you have here?
Okay, in the background here is the barn, and this is mainly our lambing barn in the wintertime. And it's on the lower part of the barn, and the upper part is storage for feed. In the winter, we bring all the sheep into confinement. Of course, there's no pasture available in the winter, so they're in this barn here, and we feed them hay and grain, and then the lambs are born in February, March, and April in this facility behind us.
So in the winter, what type of bedding do you use for the sheep?
We use straw. The barley that I grow, we harvest the grain for feed, and then the straw, we harvest the straw from the barley for bedding.
So what do your animals eat on a daily basis?
Well, you saw the pastures in the summertime. The ewe flock is all in pasture, and that's all that they eat is grass, and that supplies all of their nutritional needs in the summertime. But the lambs, we wean the lambs off, and we feed them in the facility here. And what we feed them is a mixture of corn, shelled corn, which we raise our own shelled corn, and barley. We raise our own barley. And then we have a pellet here which has protein in it, and this is made from soybeans. We also grow soybeans, but feeding raw soybeans doesn't work real well with livestock, so they process it. They take the oil out of the soybean product, and you're left with a meal, and that's what that pellet is. So it's mixed together, and this is all mixed together then. And this is how I feed it to the lambs.
So how much of this do they eat per day?
They eat about 3 to 4 pounds. As they get bigger, it'd be more like 4 pounds a day per animal.
And then how much do they drink on a daily basis?
A full-grown ewe that's lactating and producing milk will drink about 5 gallons of water a day. But lambs like this is probably only about a gallon or so a day. we're feeding lambs in here. They're all gonna leave. But, so the feed is available to them in this feeder all the time. It's a self-feeder, so that when they get hungry, they eat on their own, and they eat whatever they need on a daily basis. Youngest one.
So how do you keep your animals healthy here?
For the most part, sheep are pretty healthy animal, and there's not a lot of diseases that go through and wipe things out, like you have problems with poultry and hogs like that. But we do use vaccines. There's a vaccine for a scouring problem, enterotoxemia, that we have vaccine for that, and there's some other lesser vaccines, and also we use antibiotics on a limited basis when we have sick animals. We get a prescription, I guess you'd call it, from the veterinarian, and we use antibiotics. I guess the key to keeping animals healthy is having proper nutrition, and that's especially true of the sheep. If the feed stuff is of poor quality, well, then you start to have problems.
So up here there's a few different, I don't know if you all can see them, but there's different sizes. So why don't you tell us about the stages of their life?
Okay, we have the newborns are called lambs, and there's several lambs in this group, and their mothers are called ewes. And when they have their first ewe, they're called yearlings. So they're about the ewes are 1 year of age, typically 1 year to 1.5 years old when they have their first lamb, and they're called yearlings. The males are called rams, and that was in that very first video. We had some rams in the background. Young males are called wethers, and we keep a small percentage of the ewe lambs that are born. We save back as replacement ewes and they're the future mothers, the future ewe flock.
All right. Well, I hope you all learned something about sheep, and thank you for showing us around your farm.
You're welcome.